Here, let's look at factoring by grouping. Now, generally the problems we're going to do this with have 4 terms in them. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to mentally group together those first 2 terms, and then mentally group together those second 2 terms. And in each one of them, we would like to pull out a greatest common factor. So looking at those first 2 terms, what, if anything, do they have in common? Well, 15 and 10 have a 5 in common, and x cubed and x squared have an x squared in common. So I'm going to factor out that 5x squared, and then, again, just looking at those first 2 terms, what's left over? So 5x squared times what is 15x squared? That'd be 3x. And then 5x squared times what is negative 10x squared? That'd be a negative 2. All right, so those are my first 2 terms. Let's leave it for the moment. And now let's look at just those second 2 terms. So once again, do they have anything in common? They have a 2. Now, I don't want to just leave a blank here, and I did pull out a positive instead of a negative, so I'm going to put a plus sign there. And then once again, what's left over? So 2 times what is 6x? That would be 3x. 2 times what is negative 4? That would be negative 2. So I've now grouped and factored something out in each of them. What I'm hoping will occur is that what's left over in parentheses is the same for both of them. And that is indeed what happened here. Now that's a binomial, but I can pull it out. What's left over then are these monomials at the beginning. So left over, I'll have a 5x squared plus 2. And that is my answer using factoring by grouping. Let's try another one. So again, I'm going to group the first 2 terms and then the second 2 terms. Now, 7 and 5 have nothing in common, but I can pull an x squared out. And then what's left over? X squared times what is 7x cubed? That'd be 7x. X squared times what is 5x squared? That'd be 5. All right, now let's look at my second 2 terms. 14 and 10 have a 2 in common. And again, unless I'm pulling out a negative, I'm going to put a little plus sign there in front. And what's left over? 2 times what is 14x? That'd be 7x. 2 times what is 10? That would be 5. So again, I'm hoping that what's left over for each of them is the same. That is once again the case here, so I can factor that out. And left over is the stuff out in front. So left over, I'll have an x squared plus 2. One thing to know, if those terms that are left over are not the same, then basically we are not going to be able to do this factoring, but for all of the problems that we'll see in our homework, we will be able to factor like this.